Hey guys, Stay Patient here with episode 4 of How to Be a Trophy Hunter, and today we're going to be covering a subject that a lot of you have been waiting for, a lot of you have been asking me about. Up till now, we've been discussing a lot of the basics really, covering everything for you new trophy hunters to make sure you're up to speed. So we explained how the leveling system works on PlayStation when it comes to trophies obviously, and we've spoken about why people trophy hunt in the first place, covering a lot of people's different reasons for doing so. And last time we were looking at completion percentages. Now this is something that obviously gives you like an overall average completion across all your games, and although it's not visible on the PlayStation consoles, you can view it on sites such as psnprofiles.com and many other kind of trophy leaderboard sites online. Now we spoke about how some people really care a lot about this, and some people, have it as their goal to reach 100% completion and stay there. And some of us really don't care at all. We have hundreds and hundreds of games played on our account. A lot of them have only had 1 or 2 trophies earned on it because we like trying every game but not necessarily sticking with it. So there's a wide variety of different approaches to this idea of completion percentages. But I think the majority of us probably sit somewhere right down the middle, where we kind of like the idea of a high completion percentage. That's sort of a casual goal maybe. We might go back to play some old games that are unfinished on our account, trying to boost our percentage a bit, but we don't take it so far as to let it kind of determine the games that we play. A lot of people who go for a full 100% completion rating avoid games that are too difficult or too long-winded, and they only play games that they know they can 100%. And often that means that they aren't able to play games when they're first released because they don't yet know how easy or how long-winded they might be. So for the majority of us, a high completion rating is a nice idea, but it's not something we're going to go out of our way to chase. Today though, we're going to be talking about blank accounts, and this is a technique you can use to really benefit from like the best of both worlds, as it were. It allows you to be able to sort of protect your completion percentage while also leaving yourselves free to play any game you like and still keep those trophies if you want to. It's really a way of delaying trophies being added to your account. It allows you to earn trophies on a game, and then if you're, maybe not enjoying the game, or you struggle with it, or you haven't got enough time for it, then you don't necessarily have to add those trophies to your account. But if you then have the opportunity to go back to that game later and you earn enough trophies that you're happy with, or maybe you earn the platinum or the 100%, you can then add those trophies to your account at a later date. Now, one of the reasons, you may end up with a lot of unfinished games on your account is because there might be games that you want to try out. So you play them, but then if you don't enjoy them, you're not going to stick with them, and it will be sat on your account with just a couple of trophies earned maybe. And sometimes, with all the free PS Plus games, or maybe the sales that are taking place, we might pick up all these different games, try them out, maybe rent some. And if we try them on our account, then that game is permanently locked to our account. We can't remove it, unless of course there are no trophies that have been earned, in which case you can still delete it. But for the most part, as soon as you earn a trophy, then you can't take that off your account. So if you don't enjoy the game, you're stuck with it on your account, on your trophy list, for good. Some people use what they might call a tester account or an alternate account, which is basically a second PSN account that they can use to try out games. So maybe their friends recommend a game to them and it's not the kind of game that they would usually go for, but they're told that it's really good and they want to try it out. So rather than playing it on their primary account and risking having it sort of taint their completion percentage or sat there, a very low completion, they use a second PSN account to try the game out. Now that's great, that's very helpful, they can play the game for a few minutes, but obviously if they play the game for too long, then they're earning a lot of trophies, but those trophies are almost wasted because they can't then put those trophies onto their main account. They can't carry on with the game on their main trophy account. The other 2 reasons why an account might have a lot of unfinished games is because some of those games may have been too difficult or too long-winded. We're all short on time, aren't we? We have lives to lead, and quite often we bite off more than we can chew. We might start a ton of games or start some very long games that we think we're going to make time for it, but then more games come out and more games come out, and they pile up, and our backlog becomes so long that we have a lot of sort of games that we've just played a little bit but not got very far with. On the flip side, we may be able to dedicate a lot of time to a game, but it might just be too difficult for us, and that might result in some of those games being unfinished on our account as well. Now in those situations, a tester account isn't any use to us because If the reason that we're not sure about a game is because of the difficulty or because of how long it might be, then playing it on a tester account is just going to waste a lot of time. We may think to ourselves, okay, I'd love to play Trackmania Turbo. This is a game that I've been playing recently. We might think, you know what, I'm probably not going to be able to plat it, so I'm going to play it on an alternate account. I'm going to play it on my second PSN account. But then we might put enough time into it that we actually end up popping the platinum. And if we do that, then that's just a nightmare, because we can't then have that platinum on our main account. We've earned it, but no one can see it, unless we start using both accounts in tandem, of course. But you know, at that point, we'd be really frustrated with ourselves, because we'd think, hang on, if I played that on my main account, I would have a super hard or super long-winded platinum in my collection. But because I played it on my alternate account, those trophies are just kind of in no man's land. So all of these different situations are the very reason why the idea of blank accounts is extremely useful, because it does allow you to be able to earn trophies and then add them to your account later, which means you can use them as a tester account. But if you do really enjoy the game and you get sucked into it, then you don't have to worry about starting the game over again from scratch on your main account after trying it on a tester account. And if a game is very long-winded or very difficult, then we can put the time in, we can put the effort in, we can try and earn the platinum, and if we do, that platinum isn't wasted. We can, once again, add those trophies to our main account. So that's why blank accounts are so useful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain how they work, and then we're going to show you on the PS4 itself. Now, this is a feature that does work on PS4 and PS3, but if I show you on PS4, then it should be fairly simple to figure out on PS3 as well. Obviously, the user interface is slightly different, but the principle is exactly the same. Now, when I explain this, you may well think to yourself, hang on, I've been doing this for years, I just didn't know it was called blank accounts. In which case, great, you're already benefiting from it. But I know a lot of people aren't aware of this feature. I've spoken to people on PSN, while gaming, you know, over chat and things like that, and they've been really amazed that this is available, that it's a feature, and they've started using it and they've never looked back. It really is the simplest thing in the world though. Basically, all you're going to be doing is starting a new user on your PS4. So when you're on the login screen, you want to scroll all the way to the left and set up a new user. And quite often people will do this, but they'll set up a guest. Maybe when they have a friend around, they want to do some multiplayer gaming, they'll set up a guest account, and that person can play on that account. And I've actually never ever used the guest account, so I'm not 100% sure on how they work. But I believe those trophies are basically lost. If any trophies are earned on that account, I don't believe that they're kept at all. You can just use it as a temporary way of playing with a friend. But what you want to do is, rather than setting up a guest account, you actually set up a new actual user, a new permanent user on your PS4. The only difference is that when you're prompted to sign into a PSN account, you want to click on skip. And that's basically going to bypass that step, and it's going to result in the user being a blank user. Now, we use the term blank accounts. That's kind of how people refer to it. That's not actually entirely correct, because it's not going to be an account at all. It's going to just be a user or a login. There is no account linked to this. So it's basically a blank user or a blank login. We're going to use the term blank account though, because that's what people use to refer to it for the most part. So it's something that's a bit more familiar to people when you use the term. But basically, what a blank account allows you to do is carry on and earn any trophies you like as long as they're offline. Obviously, because you're not linked to a PSN account, you can't play online. So this feature, this idea of blank accounts, isn't going to help you with online-only games or the online trophies that some games have. But when it comes to offline trophies, you can go ahead and earn them, play games on this blank account, earn the trophies. And then if you do get to the point where you're happy with your progress, where, you know, maybe you've finished the game, you've done the platinum, or you've done whatever percentage you would like to have the game at on your account, you can then simply sign into your PSN account on that blank user, and those trophies, as well as the save file and everything, will all be connected to your account because you'll be signed in as yourself. Sometimes people ask me how the timestamps behave when you do this, and they are completely legitimate. The timestamps will represent when it was that you earned the trophies. It doesn't matter that you weren't signed into PSN, it doesn't matter that you weren't linked to a PSN account at all. The date and time will reflect the date and time that you actually earned the trophy, and that will carry over to your account when you finally sign in. The one main thing that you need to bear in mind is the fact that you can't have your account signed into two different users on the same PS4 at the same time. And it will warn you of this when you try and sign in. It will tell you that you're already signed into another user. So all you need to do is basically delete yourself from the PS4 and then sign in to the blank account using your account, and all your trophies and everything will carry across, of course. I do recommend obviously uploading all your save files before you do this, and we're going to show you all this as we go through. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. In fact, we're going to jump across to the PS4 now, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly how to go about setting all this up. So guys, here we are on the PS4 and we're just about to log in with the controller. And when you get to login screen here, you'll notice my account and several accounts with the names of games on them, and some foreign accounts as well. Now what you want to do is come to the far left and click on New User, and we're going to be opening up a blank account via this option. So we can choose Create a User or Play as a Guest. So the guest account is like a temporary login, but we're going to create a new proper user. So click on that, and then you have to agree to this disclaimer here. But now we're going to get the option to sign into the PlayStation Network, and you'll see that we can either click Next or go across to Skip. So we are going to fully skip this step, and that's what's going to create a blank account for us. Now once this is loaded, it's going to give us the option to choose an avatar, which we're not going to worry with for now. You can choose a random one if you want, or you can just press circle and it will bring us back to this screen, which is where we can go back to choose an avatar if we want to. I don't know why I clicked on it again, but there we go. But if we back out, we can choose a name. Now this is quite important because if you're using this blank account to play a game that you're not maybe sure you can platinum, or maybe you're wanting to try out just temporarily to see if you like it, then it is helpful to name the user after the game that you're playing so that you know which one it is. Because obviously if you just have a bunch of accounts that are referred to as user 1, user 2, user 3, etc., then you'll need to log in each time just to check which one is which. So let's say, for instance, we want to play XCOM 2, which is a game that I might like to play at some point on a blank account. I'm not going to keep this one obviously for now, but this is just for the sake of demonstration. So we're going to go down and we are going to confirm the username. And this step here is just because I've got a camera plugged in. You don't have to worry about this. You can take a photo and it can kind of have facial recognition. But there we go. We now have a blank account, guys. So if we scroll up, you'll notice that if we go to our profile, it will ask us to sign into PlayStation Network, which we're not going to do. If we go to our trophies, it will tell us that there are no trophies, and you will notice that it doesn't ask us to sign in. Trophies aren't something that can only be earned when you're logged into a PSN account. They can be earned offline, they can be earned on a blank user like this, and any trophies you earn will show up here just as they would if you were actually logged into a proper PSN account. If you try and click on any of the other features though, such as friends for instance, it will just take you to the login screen. So that's what tells you that this is definitely a blank account. It is not linked to any PSN account, but any trophies you earn will be, will show up here with their proper timestamps and the date that they were earned. And then later on we can add those trophies to our main PSN account. Now I'm going to show you how that's done by utilizing one of my other accounts or one of my other blank users. So we're going to log out of this demonstration sort of XCOM account, and we are going to find one of the accounts that I have earned a platinum on. So for instance, Deponia Guide. Now I've got two named Deponia here. They are both ones I use to be able to make the guide. Obviously I played the game through once first to get familiar with it and make some notes, and then I played the game through again while recording it to be able to make the guide that I've just uploaded today actually. Now this one was completed in around 2 hours, which would put me near the top of the leaderboard, so I'm going to use this one even though I could have completed it quicker. I'm not too worried about leaderboard placements, but we are going to attach this platinum here to my main account. So if we click on it and just log in, we're just going to show you that this account is a blank account. If we go to communities, it will ask us to sign in and there's no preset information there. If we go to trophies, we will see that there are trophies earned here, but they aren't yet attached to any PSN account. If we go to profile, you'll notice that it says sign into PlayStation Network. So this is a completely blank user, but it does have a platinum on. So we're going to just click on this and show you the timestamps and everything. This is when I earned these trophies. So we started, I think they're in the order of the date they were earned. So if we go down to the bottom here, I started it on the 10th of April at 8:15, and I finished it at 10:20 on the same day. So what I'm going to do is show you what happens if you try and log in without deleting your original account. So if we go to Profile and go down to Sign into PlayStation Network, if we try and put in my details, obviously I'm going to blank this out for you guys, but this is the details for my stay-patient account. So bear with me while I quickly type this in. I'm so tempted to read this out as I'm typing it, I don't know why. There we go. Okay, so we're going to sign in now. So click on sign in, and this will tell us that we are already sort of signed in to this PS4. Cannot use the Sony Entertainment Network account of another user on this PS4. And that's because the stay-patient account already has an account, it's already signed in on this PS4. So if we log out, and what we're going to need to do is delete stay-patient so that we're not already signed in. And then it will allow us, if we can... Okay, I thought my controller was out of battery then. Okay, so here is my account, stay-patient trophies. And just while we're here, before we do delete it, I'm going to just show you that I don't have the, the Deponia Platinum yet. And of course, we did look at the date, didn't we? It was the 10th of April, if I remember correctly. And we earned the first trophy at 8:15. And then the final trophy and the platinum at about 10:20. So that's just to make sure that you can see that it is the same platinum that we do carry across to my account. If we just scroll down though, obviously I could have earned it a long time ago, but it's not on my account, I can assure you. And obviously the timestamps will confirm that when we do carry it across. Okay. So before you do this, you do want to be sure to obviously sync your trophies, just in case there's any that you've earned that haven't been synced with the PSN, the network yet. And then you're also going to go to your application save data management and upload all your save files to the cloud, any that you want to keep. You don't want to go losing any of them. So do that via this option here, upload to online storage. Now I've gone through and done all that already, so that's absolutely fine. So what we are going to do is delete myself. So we do actually need to log in. I believe we need to log in to a different user to be able to delete the stay-patient account. So we can actually do that from the Deponia guide login here. So if we scroll across, we are going to go down to users in the settings menu and click on delete user. And we want to delete the stay-patient account. If I can find it, there it is, Tom Graham. Okay, so delete. It's gone. Don't worry, obviously your account still exists. It's just being deleted off the PS4. And there we go. Should be gone now. Give it a few seconds. Taking a bit longer, I think maybe because it's a large account with lots of trophies and lots of save files and things like that. There we go though. Okay, so that's done, and we are in the Deponia guide account, which, if you remember, only has the one platinum. It's not signed into any PSN account, but we are going to now sign it in to stay-patient. And in fact, we're going to just double check again the date, just so that you can be sure of it, because I don't want anyone thinking that I'm kind of making this up or faking it or anything. This is the 10th of April. All the trophies were earned on the 10th of April. 22-21 for the platinum and 2016 or 8:15 for the first trophy. Okay, so we are going to sign in once again, and this time it's going to allow us because our account isn't already signed in to a different user. So let's pop our details in again. Now hopefully I've got them correct. And there we go. You see in the bottom right there, the name Deponia Guide just changed to stay-patient, and it's brought up my avatar or my image that I've uploaded. And now we are signed in to stay-patient, but we're signed in on the Deponia Guide login, which means the trophies for Deponia will now be linked to stay-patient. The save file will be accessible. So first of all, if we just go across to settings and go down to application save data management, and we're going to look at the save data in storage, in system storage, yeah. And we can choose any of these options. We're not going to actually be deleting it, but you'll see here that we have the Deponia save. And if we come back out, all the way back out to the cross media bar and go to trophies, it's going to sync. Even though my trophies are fully synced, obviously it's going to sync again because we've just signed in. It's syncing all of the uploaded trophies from the server onto the PS4 itself. And it's also syncing the Deponia guide, which isn't currently showing up, obviously, but it will appear, and it's going to take a few moments. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, so it can speed up if you quit out and then go back in. There you go, it's instant now. So you will see here, Deponia is now on my list, and you'll see that the times, the timestamps are exactly the same. 10:21 for the platinum. Oh, is this, yeah, we need to put them back into order that they were earned in. So 10:21, and the first trophy was at 8:16. So all the trophy timestamps carry over perfectly. They're all fully legitimate. And this method is not a workaround. It's not an exploit or a glitch or anything like that. It's simply a feature of the PS4 that a lot of people aren't fully aware of. So guys, the next time you think to yourself, you know what, I'd love to have a high completion rating on my account, but there's all these games I want to play that I'm probably not going to be able to finish, then rather than playing them on a separate account and losing the trophies, why not set up a blank account on your PS4 or your PS3, play the game to your heart's content, and then if you happen to manage to earn the platinum or the 100% or whatever you're aiming for, then simply delete yourself off the PS4, sign in again to the blank account, and all those trophies will be added to your main PSN account. Now I hope I've explained this in a way that can be understood. Just to reiterate the steps for this, you simply set up a new user. So we're going to log out and just quickly show you the basic first step again. So on this screen, when you're logging in, choose new user, create a user, accept this, skip the signing into PlayStation Network, and then we can skip this step as well if you like. Use it, just leave it as user 1 for now. Skip this step, which is just related to the camera, and there we go. We have a blank account, earn your trophies, sign in once you're ready to sync those trophies to your account. I really hope this has been helpful, guys. I know a lot of you have been waiting for me to fully explain this, and I really hope I haven't made it overly complicated because it is a really simple process. Now I have just actually remembered one thing that I almost forgot to mention, and it's very important. We're going to quickly sign back into the stay-patient account, and this is something that is relevant. So once we're here, we're going to talk about the activation system. Basically, if you want to use your downloadable games on a separate user on the same PS4, then you do need to have the account that owns those games activated on the PS4. So if you go to the settings, we are going to go to PlayStation Network and Account Management, and then go down to Activate as your primary PS4, and this is going to give all of the other accounts on the console the sort of authority or the permission to use your games. Now, if you did have it deactivated, then you would set up a blank account and you'd go to that blank account, you'd try and open your games, but they wouldn't open, they'd be locked. So if that's happening to you, simply come to the account that owns the games and activate it through this option here, and that's going to allow you to use those games on that blank account. So that's a very important feature. Obviously, I forgot to mention that earlier on, but I hope I've explained this in an understandable way, guys, and not waffled on too much like I tend to at times. But thanks very much for watching. Hope this is helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you very soon. Cheers, guys.